Relax. We're going to do a quick 10-minute core here as part of our 10-minute yoga sequence. And so have a mat to make sure that your tailbone is all right. It's sensitive in like cushion positions. So we're going to go ahead and get started right now. We only have 10 minutes to do this 10-minute core. So we're going to start standing at the front of the mat. Standing at the front of your mat, pressing through the feet maybe hip width distance, maybe toes touch, heels apart, whatever you would like here. If you're Tadasana here, just setting up, engaging through the legs, releasing the butt muscles, drawing those hip bones towards your low ribs, broadening across the chest here. Big belly breath in, expanding through the front body. Exhale, release it. Inhale, this time sweep your arms out and up overhead, keeping your torso where it was in Tadasana. And then exhale, swan dive your arms out to the side, keep a long spine, bend your knees and hinge your hips forward, coming into a forward fold. Inhale for a half lift, fingertips to shins. And then exhale, fold. Release down, bending your knees generously here. Inhale, find a long spine, sweep your arms out to the side, and then come up to standing arms overhead. And then exhale, release your hands down by your side. Inhaling, arms out and up overhead. Exhaling, hinging forward into a fold. Inhaling for that half lift. Head reaches away from tailbone. Bending your knees and stepping back to a plank. Holding here in your plank, drawing those shoulders down your back and finding a little bit of rounding in between your shoulder blades. Shifting your weight slightly forward, drawing your elbows out or in towards your ribs, lowering down to a half push-up or chaturanga position, and then bring your belly down to the ground. Bring in your elbows underneath your shoulders, coming up into a Sphinx pose. Stacking your shoulders over your elbows, palms can be facing down on the ground, or you can bring your palms to touch. Whatever works best for your shoulders. We're going to set up here from a Sphinx to a forearm plank. So if you would like to tuck your toes under, you can do so now, or you can play around with plank on the tops of the feet if that's comfortable for you. Either way, toes tucks or play around with the tops of the feet on the ground. Start to engage the core. Draw that arch out of the spine. Press up onto the knees, and this can be your plank on the knees. If you'd like a little bit more, press into the tops of the feet and hold your forearms like here. And then touch those knees down and sit those hip bones back into the ground, into our Sphinx pose. We're going to flow through that a few times. Making sure that your feet are about hip width distance. So not too splayed out here. And see if you can, on your next exhale, draw those hips up, coming into your knees or all the way up on the feet. And then inhale your way through Sphinx. Exhale, forearm plank. Inhale, Sphinx. Last one. Exhale through forearm plank. Hold here. Come to your knees and tuck your toes under if you're working on the tops of your feet. Bring those toes to touch. Here we're coming into a side plank, rolling onto the outer edge of your right foot. onto your right elbow, come up onto those left fingertips, and then bring that left hand all the way up to the sky, holding here for side plank, maybe reaching that left arm up over your head, stacking your hips and your shoulders in one line, and then exhale, come back through, centering your forearm plank, resetting for the other side by shifting your weight forward and back, coming up onto the tippy toes, and shifting your weight back, and then coming back through stillness. Inhaling here, and then rolling over onto the left edge of the foot, popping up onto those right fingertips, drawing that right arm up to the sky, finding a long line from your heels to your head, maybe reaching that right arm overhead, stacking your shoulders, stacking your hips. Breathing here for one more breath, and exhaling, coming back through center in forearm plank, rocking back and forth, drawing that belly button in towards your spine, stamping your left hand and then your right hand up to a full plank position, holding here. Breathing, drawing those shoulder blades away from each other as you press into the ground. And then start to bring your right knee into your chest. Touch your right knee to your right elbow, and then touch your right knee to your left elbow, and then step it back to plank. If you need to shift back into downward facing dog, reaching your hips up to the sky in between, feel free to do so. Or if you're ready for more of a challenge, stay in plank. Bringing your left knee in to center, touching your left elbow and your right elbow, coming back to plank. Right knee into your chest, touching your right elbow, and then your left elbow. And then coming back through plank. Left knee into the chest, touching your left elbow and your right elbow. And then straight back, one more on each side. Right knee into your chest, right knee to right elbow, right knee to left elbow. Coming back through center. Left knee into your chest, left knee to left elbow, left knee to right elbow. Coming back to plank, hold plank for one more minute, one more second, and then shifting back to downward facing dog. Pressing into your hands and your feet, drawing those hips up to the sky, finding a long spine here. Letting your head drop, rolling those shoulders down your back. One breath here. And then release your knees down to the mat. Sitting back onto your knees. Sitting up tall here. Take one breath. And then shift your weight over to the side. Bring those legs long out in front of you. Shifting back so that your feet come up off the ground. You can hug your knees in, holding your knees in as you shift and find that place of balance where your feet can hover off the ground. And then maybe bringing your shins parallel to the ground, drawing that belly button into your spine here for your boat position, Navasana. Maybe bringing your arms out to the side, drawing those knees together, gluing the legs together, maybe straightening the legs if you need more. And then exhale, hover off the ground, almost touching your legs, your head, your hands, and then release that work. Coming right into the next thing. Bending your knees and planting the soles of your feet onto the ground behind your hips. Drawing those knees up, hovering your knees above your hips, making a 90-degree angle with your legs here, feet point. And then we'll do toe taps. Maybe bringing one toe down to tap and then the other, or together. We'll do 3 like this. 2, one more. And then if you're ready, straighten your legs. And do leg lifts. Touch your heels down. Draw your legs all the way up. If you need to tuck your hands under your hips, that's fine. Draw that belly button down towards your spine here. One more like this, all the way up. And then bring your legs straight up to the sky. And then your arms straight up to the sky. So we're going to do a few dead bug crunches, because we look like dead bugs right now with our hands and feet up to the sky. As you exhale, drawing that belly button down towards your spine, bring your hips off the ground to bring your feet closer to your hands, and bring your chest off the ground. Bring your hands closer to your feet. Maybe you can touch your hands and your feet, everything off the ground, and then exhale. Release your chest, release your hips. Breathing in here, and as you exhale next, everything up. Hands and feet, hips and chest. And then release it down. 2 more like this at your own pace. Exhale, crunch. Inhale down. Exhale, everything up. And inhale down. Bend your knees, plant the soles of your feet back behind you. And then prop up onto your elbows. And then bring your hands back behind your hips. Maybe bringing your fingertips towards your hips, maybe fanning your hands out to the side. We're going to release all that core work by coming into a reverse tabletop position here. Pressing into your hands and your feet. Inhale your hips up to the sky. Breathing and expanding through the chest and the front body. If you'd like to challenge yourself more and come into reverse plank, straighten your legs out in front of you. Inhaling your hips and your chest out to the sky. Breathing here for 1 more breath. And then exhale. Release your hips. Cross your legs. Come up through seated. You can always take a Shavasana now if you'd like, or just stay seated here for another breath at your own pace. As always, thanks for tuning in. This was a quick 10-minute